To all employees, teachers, and school administrators of Polytechnic College of the City of Meycauayan, to city officials who might be present in this occasion, to all the guests and everyone else, and of course, to our teacher candidates and their parents. Please accept my greetings all the way from here, South Korea, where I have been working since 2013. I consider it a great honor and exciting to be invited as guest speaker for this pre-service teachers appreciation ceremony. Excited po ako na gawin ito sa dahilang bahagi ako ng kasaysayan ng kolehiyong ito. Pinagsilbihan ko po ang paaralang ito. I served in this institution some time ago, although its name then was different. It was only for one school year. I wanted it longer, but circumstances wouldn't allow it. The Lord our God had other plans for me, in short. I don't know how many of the teachers and employees when I was there are watching this video now. How I wish I am delivering this talk in person para pagkatapos ay muli ko po kayong makadaupang palad at makakwentuhan at makasalo sana sa kainan. The letter of invitation I received indicates that this event aims to show the gratitude of the teacher candidates to their parents and the cooperating school for allowing them to do practice teaching there. And I am being tasked to motivate the teacher candidates to strive more in their chosen profession. I will try my best to accomplish that. The theme for this ceremony is Redefining Education Amidst Pandemic. I am finding it hard to redefine teacher education because I am of the humble opinion that the principles that govern the teaching learning process remain the same, notwithstanding the pandemic. The only part of teacher education, perhaps, that needs redefining is the technology part. The teacher education curriculum should be redesigned in such a way that students will acquire the ability to use the information and communication technology when they graduate. But with our teacher candidates belonging to the so-called digital natives, I don't see them having any problems using the internet and computer applications in their teaching. Am I right, teacher candidates? If ever you will be asked to teach face-to-face or online, synchronously or asynchronously, you would be apt to the task, right? As I said earlier, technology is the only portion of the teaching learning paradigm that may require recalibration in response to the challenges posed by the COVID-19 health crisis. Everything else, again, in my humble opinion, remained the same. The fundamentals of effective teaching before the pandemic did not change when this health crisis hit us. They cannot be redefined, but rather revisited and reinforced. And what are these fundamentals I am referring to? They are the ones that I wish to share with everyone, and most especially with our teacher candidates. There are three fundamentals that I intend to articulate. There are more, but time constraints would allow me to present only three, and I am very sorry for that. The first one is philosophy. Sounds familiar, right? Philosophy is one of the foundations of education. I am pretty sure you know that. How I wish we have time to discuss the other foundations. Psychology, sociology, legal, historical, and what have you. But let's focus mainly on philosophy, and please don't expect me to discuss all the isms that your teachers in the subject foundations of education taught you. I just would like to draw your attention to this definition of philosophy as applied to education. And here is the definition. Philosophy is a personal system of values and beliefs that govern every decision teachers make in the classroom. One of the dictionaries online defines philosophy as the most basic beliefs, concepts, and attitude of a person. And as teachers, you need to be aware of your philosophy, because whatever you say and do, knowingly and unknowingly in the classroom, are offshoots of your set of values and beliefs. That's number one, philosophy. The second one is passion. This reminds me of that afternoon when one of my Korean students approached me after our TOEIC listening class. He asked me this question: "Sir, why do you seem to be happy when you teach?" I just told him that I think I simply love what I am doing. I was surprised with the question, and I don't know what to say at that time. I wanted to tell him about my personal teaching philosophy, which is the classroom is my playground, the students are my playmates, and the subject is our toy. But I'm not sure if he would understand that. In addition, I just said, I don't feel like I am working when I teach. I feel like I'm just doing what I love doing. Teacher candidates, remember that passion is a strong feeling of enthusiasm or excitement for something or about doing something. Remember that when you teach with passion, you will inspire your students. You will get them interested and even excited about what they are learning. Passion is what makes students decide to study more. Remember that you cannot fool your students. They would know if you love what you're doing or not. So far, I have discussed already two. Number one was philosophy, and number two was passion. Third and last, professionalism. There are two dimensions of professionalism that I would like to articulate. They are competence and behavior. Professionalism is defined as competence or skills expected of a professional. And these are the components of competence that I would like to discuss. Number one is a teacher should manifest pedagogical skills. Number two, applies technology in teaching, meaning you can teach both face-to-face and online. Number three, connects topics to other discipline. And by connecting topics to other discipline, by doing so, your students will see how what you teach applies to the many facets of living. And number four, anchored on the foundations of education. To simply explain, you need to apply psychological, sociological, historical, and legal principles to education. Your decisions as a teacher should be informed by these principles. I mentioned about pedagogy earlier. And what is this? Dr. Google, I know you know him, defines pedagogy or pedagogy as the discipline that deals with the practice of education. Dr. Ligaya, that's me, explains that pedagogy tells how best to teach and how best the students learn. Pedagogy dictates that teachers should be able to do the following. Number one, master the subject matter, set learning objectives, motivate students, design learning activities, and facilitate learning. And I am pretty sure that you were trained to do all those things. Am I right? And professionalism, the other half of it, the one that I just discussed was competence. The other half is behavior. Professionalism can also be defined as the expected behavior of individuals in a specific occupation. We teachers are expected to, number one, adhere to ethical standards. I presume that you are familiar with the Code of Ethics for Teachers. You need to conduct yourselves within the bounds of that code. Number two, establishes good rapport with students. The third one is teachers should be oriented to community interests. You should not forget that you are a member of your community, which you should serve in the simplest way that you could. Personally, I consider teaching as a community service. So, serve your community well. And number four, teachers are expected to keep learning. And about rapport, recently, we completed a study where we tested, among other things, the relationship between teachers' educational qualification, teachers' length of service, students' speaking ability, and students' attitude towards foreign teachers. We found out that educational qualification and length of service of teachers have no relationship with students' speaking ability. What we discovered to be strongly positively correlated to students' speaking ability is their attitude towards foreign teachers. This means that a positive relationship between teachers and students could help students learn more. How I wish I have more time to discuss this further, but the bottom line, teacher candidates strive to establish a good rapport with your students in the future. As regards, you need to keep learning. After your bachelor's degree, go to graduate school. Attend all the seminars you could attend and read all the books you could read. Be a lifelong learner. Now, I would like to ask our teacher candidates, do you have a personal teaching philosophy? If none, it's about time you create one. Don't ever start teaching without you having it first. Your philosophy is your North Star, your guide. It is the why you teach, your reason for being a teacher. And I do hope you will slowly grow your passion towards the profession you decided to embrace. Without passion, you will never succeed as a teacher. You will not last a single year if you don't have passion. Lastly, please respect the profession. Be a consummate professional by developing the required competence and by manifesting the behavior expected of us as teachers. Teacher candidates, congratulations in advance. I am wishing and praying for all of you success. But do remember what Jim Rohn said. Success is not to be pursued. It is to be attracted by the person you become. Your success in this profession is something you don't go after. It is to be attracted by the kind of teacher you will become. Thank you for having me as guest speaker. May God bless us all.